It's true. I'm gonna have a one-woman show. Don't worry, it's not off the table. I had a little like preemptive advertising for it, so I know some of you have just been sitting at home staring at those dates on your calendars. So it is coming, but so glad to be here tonight. Yeah, everyone. This is an amazing lineup, which always makes me nervous because I'm like, oh God, everyone was so good. But it's amazing that you guys made it out in this weather, right? It's gorgeous. It's one of those days where you're just riding with the windows down, the music blaring, your pop jams. Maroon 5 is still on the radio. So for me, it was just like the glory days of 2002, which is when their first album came out. Songs about Jane. Whatever you guys remember it. Some of you might have been Maroon 5 fans back in the day. I wasn't so much. I was more of a John Mayer girl. And to prove it, I actually brought with you this sweet 2002 era journal. By the way, for those of you who aren't good at math, 2002 was 10 years ago. Whoa. So yeah, I had this disturbing crush on John Mayer, and yeah, I have a letter. I'm not going to read it. I've read it before, and if you want to be friends, I'll read it to you. But journal entries of this era, I'm just going to give you guys some nuggets here. Included lines like, these songs could be about me. Where are all the smart, creative, interesting people? And this one, sad but true, this crush may seriously affect my social life. Because that's what happens. I'm a child of pop culture, you know. I was born in the late 70s, came up in the 80s, research shows, girls look to the media and pop culture and identify as us. It's sad but true. And so I like boys in bands because they say things like, your body is a wonderland. Or, I love the way you activate your hips and put your ass out. Whereas in my real life, they say things like, it's not going to suck itself. Follow me on Twitter, #shitdudesaytome. I don't date girls from broken homes. Who says that? Right? Sure, you have a broken home. It's true though. No, I mean, yeah, my mom was a cocktail waitress, and my dad was a musician when they met. So clearly, stuff dreams were made of there. And because of that, I grew up, you know, a little bit in a house divided. They were both like former Catholics that were embracing sort of new age hippie / druggy, you know, identities. And so now I always have this conflict with like religion. And when I moved in with my dad for a while, and I was like, Dad, we're not religious, right? And he was like, no, we're not religious. And I was like, great, can I be Jewish? Because I was 12 at the time, right? I was 12. I had just moved from New Jersey, where there was a lot of mixed ethnicities, and I didn't ever really think about how people were different from me. And I moved to a suburb of Philadelphia where it was very white and very Jewish. Fine. As long as I can get in on the party. Because I was 12 years old, about to be 13. You know what happens for Jewish people when they're 13? They get to like the best party of their life, and they don't have to marry anyone. Just basically like they're doing. Another thing I just learned, when they turn 18, they get to go to Israel for free. Look, I'm not going to tell you where my parents sent me when I was 18. It was not Israel, and I did not get to come back. But yeah, so the other thing I always hoped that I always really wanted to be, but it was the kind of thing you just like can't make yourself as a lesbian, because apparently, I don't know. People say it's a choice thing, like you're just gay or you're not. I don't necessarily agree with that because I think I've just been brainwashed into being straight. Because why the hell else would I continue to date the kind of people that I date? It's because there's just this one singular factor that keeps me from the ladies, which is I don't want to make out with them. Which is basically that big difference in dating, you know. So in order to try to meet the fellas, I got onto this online dating website. I don't know, maybe you've heard of it. OkCupid. I know, you're on there. OkCupid is like the Forever 21 of dating websites. That's exactly what it is. And you're like, I'm 33. What am I doing here? How did I get here? And it's basically the same thing because you're just looking through a bunch of things you don't really like they're not really your style. You're just looking for something like cheap enough to use for the night. You know? Like best case scenario, you're gonna wear it out for like 3 months until it falls apart. So yeah, for me, it would be better if there was an online dating site that was just called like Beard, Spikes, and Plaid. Because that's like right up my alley. And I don't always have time to go to Home Depot. So, you know, and when I talk about bikes, I'm not talking about like cyclists. Sorry, dudes. Sorry, Chicago dudes. Sorry, Logan Square. I'm talking about like a cool rider. You know, with a C-O-O-L. Do you want me to sing it? Like a cool rider. Because, yeah, thanks, Kels. Thanks, Kels. Kels gets it. Praise to forever. Yeah, like, I want some, like, Sons of Anarchy mother bleepers, you know? Because the last cyclist I dated broke up with me via text messaging. But one of the things he said to me was that I was a super feminist. Which I was like, thank you. That's awesome that you know that. And why do you want to break up with me because of it? You know, true story though. But I got the terrible ending. But I'm a super feminist. To be continued.